Hello and welcome to Joyous Infusion, where we infuse the shared joy of creativity and innovation into our everyday meals. And whether you are a member of the squad, a returning visitor, or you're just passing by, I'd like you to stay a while with me as we dive into today's recipe. And today we're making this no-knead soft dinner milk bread buns with just a few ingredients in your kitchen, and in 2 hours you'll be done with a very delicious breakfast buns for your kids. Come along with me to my kitchen. Let's do it. Alright, friends, all the ingredients and their measurements will be in the description box. Now, in a cup of warm water, I added 4 teaspoons of yeast, dry instant yeast, and to that, I am going to add 4 tablespoons of white granulated sugar. I'm going to mix all of this and keep aside for about 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how warm your weather is. Note all ingredients should be at room temperature, okay? So now we're going to keep that aside, and in this bowl we're going to add 4 tablespoons of dry milk, and I am going to dissolve that with about a teaspoon of warm water. So into this dissolved milk, I'm going to add 75 grams of melted butter. So next I am going to add 1 large egg. Friends, this is one of the easiest bread buns you will make, and it's so tasty. It's basically like recreating one particular kind of bread they used to serve us back in the dining hall when I was in secondary school, and I loved it so much. I got 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour. Into that, I added a quarter teaspoon of salt, and I'm going to mix all of that until it's well combined. So now we are going to check our yeast mixture, and it has beautifully dissolved and it has diluted beautifully. So we're going to incorporate that into our flour. I love to incorporate my wet and dry ingredients gradually. I don't just like to pour it all at once, so that way, even if I have my measurements, I will still be able to gauge whether it's going to be too much or too little. Okay, it's better to be cautious than sorry. So we're going to mix all of that together, and then at this point I am going to start incorporating my melted milk, butter, and egg into the mix. Yet again, I'm incorporating this gradually. So, friends and family, if you're familiar with the Nigerian puff puff or the Nigerian buns, this is basically like a combination of the two mixtures together. And then the only difference is we're not using baking powder or soda, we're using the dry yeast for this. And then we are baking instead of frying, but it's almost the same method combined together. It's that easy. Anybody can make this bread and you're going to love it. You can add more or less sugar. Now I got the mixture I want. This is how my puff puff mixture looks like, but what I'm doing here is I'm dusting off flour one little by little so that it will help my mixture to sit very well. So now we're going to clean all of this, and I am going to cover and let this sit for about 30 to 45 minutes. There are two ways of making this no-knead bread, but I am showing you this method today. I will show you the second method of making this bread another day. I promise. So stay tuned and to this channel by hitting on that subscribe button so that when that day comes, you won't miss it. Okay, here at Eureka's Infusion, you will never run out of ideas and you will try food from different parts of the world, food from different places. It's a journey. There's a lot more to come. So I have brought out my dough after about 45 minutes, and you saw how well it rose up. So I basically sort of deflated it, and I am dusting off with some all-purpose flour, and this is to enable me fetch my dough beautifully because it is a sticky dough. Remember I told you it's like making puff puff. If I was making my puff, I'll have just fetched it this way and fried. So you want to put some all-purpose flour by the side so you can be dusting your hand in it. And as you can see, I dusted my hand here so it doesn't stick. So we're going to skillfully just form this dough into round large bowls, and this recipe gave me 6 bowls. So you want to form that and then gently drop in your baking tray or loaf pan, whatever you're using. So this is what we have, and we're going to repeat the same process. Fetch out the dough, like try and make sure you get an even shape. Dust it up with some flour, and you knead it round gently so your dough can form well and have an even shape. See how I pulled it together into the center? And then place it in your baking pan. It's that simple. Now this is our dough, and we are going to let this sit for another 15 minutes for the second proving. And we're going to whisk our egg, the other egg, for the egg wash. So we are going to use this egg wash so that it will give our bread that nice golden brown appearance on top. Okay, friends, this is absolutely easy, like I said, and it takes very little time and very little effort. You can achieve this and your family will love this. I'm going to go in with some white sesame seed, and our bread is going to go into the oven. I baked this on 180 degrees for about 30 minutes, and this is what we have. I'm going to brush it with some melted butter to give it that umami shine and an extra flavor. Look at how golden brown and beautiful this is, piping hot. As you put your butter, it melts into it. And I'm going to, as I dust with the extra icing sugar, our bread looks amazing and it tastes amazing as well. If you want a thicker consistency, you can make your dough thicker, but this is what I go for most of the time. Look at how piping hot and beautiful and soft our buns are. Thank you so much, friends, for watching. See you in my next video. Bye.